This is chapter P.7, Rational Expressions, day 1, continued. The first day was mainly just understanding domain, which is very, very important. So if you have not seen that regarding domain, you need to watch that. And then this video is simplifying rational expressions. So the first thing you want to do to simplify rational expressions is to factor out the polynomials completely. And the second step is to cancel out the common factors between the numerator and denominator. So let's look at this first example. We've got a monomial in the numerator and we've got a binomial in the denominator. Now, anytime we have a monomial, really the only thing we could be looking at between the two parts of this fraction is a greatest common factor. Let me grab a pen here. All right, so I cannot just cancel the 24 with the 3 or the x cubed with the x cubed because these are involved. The variables are involved in a polynomial expression. You cannot just work with these terms on an individual basis. They are incorporated into this entire polynomial, and to be able to cancel anything out, it has to be a factor, not a term. It has to be a factor. So you have to cancel out or factor out the greatest common factor here, and then we'll know what to do with the numerator. If we look at 3x cubed and minus 12x squared, between 3 and 12, we have a common factor of 3. Well, sorry, let me do that over. We have a common factor of 3. And then we have x cubed and x squared. So we have x squared. When we factor that out, we cancel out the 3's, and x cubed divided by x squared is x, minus 12 divided by 3 is 4, and the x squared is already factored out. So 3x cubed minus 12x squared is written as 3x squared times x minus 4. Now we have two factors. We have 3x squared and we have x minus 4. Now those are things that can be canceled out. So when we look at 24x cubed, we're obviously not going to be able to factor out and cancel out an x minus 4. So we can see if we can factor out a 3x squared. So if we think about 3x squared with the numerator, 24 divided by 3 is 8. And x cubed, if we factor out x squared, we are left with x. So for the numerator, we have 3x squared times 8x. Okay? And so we were able to factor out a 3x squared between both numerator and denominator. Those will cancel out, and this is left with 8x for our answer once we simplify. Moving on to the next example. Here we've got a binomial and a trinomial. This binomial is x squared minus 1. This is a special factoring formula, and it's going to follow the special factoring formula for x squared minus y squared. And the factors are x plus y and x minus y. So my x, see, we have x being squared and we have 1 being squared. So when we plug into the formula, we have x plus 1 and we have x minus 1. With the trinomial down here, there's no number out in front, so all we need to do is look at the last number here, which is a 2. The factors of 2 are 1 times 2. We need to subtract, because this is a minus here, we need to subtract these factors to get a 1. So 2 minus 1, so 2 minus 1 equals 1. So our factors are going to be x with a positive 2, so plus 2, and x with a negative 1, so x minus 1. So to rewrite this, our numerator is x plus 1 times x minus 1. Our denominator is x plus 2 times x minus 1. Now we've got 4 factors here. and we look to see what's in common. And both in the numerator and the denominator, we have an x minus 1. When we cancel that out, we are left with x plus 1 in the numerator and x plus 2 in the denominator, and there's our answer. Here's another example where we've got two trinomials. In the numerator, we have x squared plus x minus 12. In the denominator, we have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, both of these are have no numbers out in front of the x squared, so these are the easier type of trinomials to factor. In the numerator here, we've got 12, which is 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. We are looking to subtract to get a positive 1. So we have 4 minus 3 to get positive 1. So our factors are going to be positive 4, so x plus 4, and negative 3, so x minus 3. And then for the denominator, we have 6. So the factors of 6 that we have are 1 times 6 and 2 times 3. They are going to add to get, sorry for that noise, they are going to add to get 5. So 2 plus 3. So we have both positive numbers, x plus 2 and x plus 3. Okay, so in this case, nothing would cancel. I'm guessing that this was initially supposed to be a minus 6. So let's go back and look at that as a 5x minus 6. And that would change. We still need 2 times 3. No, you know what? Not minus 6. It's still going to be plus 6, but it's going to be minus 5x. So minus 5x plus 6. So we're still going to have the 2 and 3, and they still need to add together, but they need to add together to get a negative 5. So in this case, it's going to be, sorry, negative 2 plus negative 3, which means over in our factors, we would have x minus 2 and x minus 3. So minus and minus. And now, in this case, we would actually be able to cancel out because we've got an x minus 3 both in the numerator and the denominator, and we get x plus 4 over x minus 2. And there's our answer. Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so x plus 4 over x minus 2 is the answer once we had the correct symbol down here to make it minus and minus. And that's it for simplifying rational expressions.